Hi everyone, it's Karen. So I'm continuing on with question number 7. Says 1, but it's 7, believe me. I copied and pasted. So I was not able to complete a diagram to illustrate, but I was able to give a sentence or two describing how I came to my conclusion. So I'm going to have that completed by the time the assignment is due. So for number 7, for A, the entire population of a given community is examined, and all who are judged free of bowel cancer are questioned about their diet and eating habits. These people are then followed for several years to see whether their eating habits can predict their risk of developing bowel cancer. So for answer here, I put cohort studies because a group of people are followed over a period of time. That's typically why I made that decision for cohort studies. And again, for the following questions on this, feel free to, chime in and give your feedback. Be greatly appreciated. For B, it says the mortality rates from peptic ulcers in 10 cities are compared with the unemployment rates in the city. So for there, I highlighted compared, and I was thinking ecologic studies where the researcher compares groups to look for an association between group disease frequencies, okay? All right. Oh, went up too far. Go up a little bit more. That was B. Okay, C. Here we go. In July 1959, questionnaires were mailed to every 10th person listed in the Pequot habits in the Pequot Lakes, Minnesota telephone directory. Each person were asked to list her age, sex, smoking habits, and respiratory symptoms that they had at the time they completed the questionnaire. Prevalence of upper respiratory symptoms are calculated and compared to smoking habits. So for that answer, I put cross-sectional studies because questionnaires were used, and I think I read that hypothesis generating design asked participants a series of questions using a questionnaire. D, 1,500 adult males, and please forgive me for not putting the page numbers to these ladies because I have the 5th edition, not the 6th edition of the book. So it does vary. There's some variance there. So for D, it says 1,500 adult males working for Volvo Trucks were first examined 2017, and at that exam were classified as to the presence or absence of coronary heart disease. So I was kind of stumped on that one. I put cross-sectional because I'm thinking both the exposure and the disease outcome are determined simultaneously for each subject, okay? The 1,500 males at Volvo. For E, it says questionnaires are mailed to every 10th person in a city's phone book. Each question is asked to provide, each person is asked to provide his or her age, sex, smoking habits, and to describe the presence of any respiratory symptoms during the preceding 7 days. So there, I put cross-sectional. I'm not sure on that one for the same reason as I put C, hypothesis generating questions that typically can come from a questionnaire. But again, help me out, you know. F, 100 patients are with infectious hepatitis and 100 matched neighborhood healthy controls were questioned regarding a history of eating raw clams or oysters within the preceding 3 months. So there, I put case control because we're looking at controls. That is the only reason I think that would be case control. It's because with case control studies, we start by identifying cases and then we identify controls, okay, to match those cases. G, in a study to test a hypothesis that oral contraceptives are associated with blood clots, investigators identified 174 women aged 15 to 44 who had been hospitalized with blood clots. 175 women without blood clots who had been hospitalized were chosen as controls. So again, same as in letter F, we're looking at case control studies. Simply the word controls, I think, is almost a giveaway there. And H, the figure below is a scatter plot of CHD death rates and per capita alcohol consumption in various countries. What type of study is this? And describe the findings into the 6 sentences. So I put ecologic studies because it demonstrates correlation between CHD death. Okay, so we got the table there, and demonstrates between CHD death and per capita alcohol consumption. So it is a comparison of the group, and that is number 7.